39. How does it happen? The air is really dry, so it's cooling down a lot. The freezing level's very close to the ground. So even 39 degrees, the temperature there will be coming down. I bet next hour it's like 36 or 34.
When it snows heavy enough, I've noticed, the temperature has to drop.
And the snowflake needs time to melt, too. So even if it's in warmer than freezing air, it still maybe just hasn't melted by the time it gets to the ground.
Okay, so we've got temperatures, 39. We've got blue on the radar. We can actually show people what it looks like outside. Let's go to the camera. This is Bethesda, Maryland. I-270, just south of the split there, and visibility really coming down, guys.
Yeah, I would say, if I'm looking at that, I'm thinking maybe 1 to 2 miles, 1.5 miles of light snow is my guess. So that's not really accumulating quickly. And the good news there, I'm looking at the roads, they look wet.
They look fine.
Which is what you'd think with the temperature in the middle 30s or upper 30s. So I think the temperature will be coming down as the precipitation continues.
Do you think there's any rain mixing in?
I'm not so sure. It doesn't look like it. Looks like all snow. That's what I would say. And let's time it out now for everybody going across Pennsylvania and getting into New Jersey, New York. So there's some snow there, all the way to the coast probably. But I think by 8 or 9 o'clock tonight, the system heads on out and then is gone, and we're left with kind of a cold January day. How about that for tomorrow?
And then we fast forward to the weekend, and we've got another system to track.
Yeah, this is how much this one, at most 3 inches. I think that's on the upper end. So I was thinking maybe more like 1, maybe 2. But yeah, you're right, Jen. Saturday, look at this, guys. We got a wintry mix of things.
And once again, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, D.C.
Right on the edge.
Right on the edge. Not a slam dunk forecast, is it?
Very difficult forecast, but different in many respects from previous ones, because this one is going to be far enough offshore that, for example, the Euro model puts the center there on Saturday night and brings moderate to significant snow to all of those cities that haven't seen much of it this year. The GFS, another model, not the only other model, but another one, has the center even farther offshore, but that's key because it still brings snow to the coast.
Still brings some.
Yeah, we've had tracks that have been inland so often this year that have brought rain. This one looks like it'd be far enough offshore to bring snow.
And this system that's going to create this is actually going to bring snow today to Colorado, New Mexico, and Texas. So it's got a way to go yet.
Yes. We'll be watching it every step of the way.
Yes,
all right, Dr. Posto, stay right here because we're going to take a look at some video, some compelling video. Either it's cool or just amazing. We want to show you some right now. It's a nice wintry scene here, isn't it?
Yes, but take a look at that water moving underneath that ice. Can you imagine, Chris, if you were walking out on the ice, you thought it was frozen everywhere, and then you encountered this?
And that's the thing, especially if you're not familiar with an area, there could be a stream that you don't know about that you could walk right over and into.
Yes, this is from the Indiana Department of Natural Resources, where they've been dealing with ice rescues lately. They've been doing it in Missouri, too.
And then there's this. You may have seen the kite surfers. He's a kite skater here.
I wouldn't want to get picked up by the wind. We were talking about this parasailing where there's water underneath you. If you lose, you get caught up in the wind, and then if you need to fall off, you can let yourself go and fall into the ocean. This is on ice.
This is Lake Ontario, just outside of Toronto. Temperatures were about 10 degrees. But how much ice cover do you think there could have been here, really?
Just a couple of inches. That's
all you need.
Yeah, that's right.
And let's take a look at what else the wind can do. It can make for a bit of a tricky landing here. This is in England.
Was that a little bit of a British accent in there, Chris?
No, it's just
Irish, maybe.
It was unintentional.
All right. Look at this landing. And, Jeff Morrow, meteorologist here at the Weather Channel that I used to work with, just texted me and said, this is called crabbing when a pilot lands like this. And it looks like a crab trying to crawl across the runway.
Do you like bumpy rides, or do they bother you, especially on a descent like this? I mean, would you be inside there thinking, oh my goodness, get me out of here?
I'd be taking pictures.
You'd be excited. Landings are always a little unnerving.
I agree.
Going up and coming down.
Yeah. When you can see the ground right there.
Yeah.
I need a little bit of space here.
This is a crosswind. This is why pilots do not like to land in crosswinds like this. And runways, you try to land into the wind, into a headwind.
So many of these guys are pros. They're like, this is nothing.
And they train for this too.
Yes.
So you can, in real life and
it happens a lot here in Birmingham, England. All right, 60 seconds. The Weather Channel has more on today's snow.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun, slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The salt and sand trucks are on standby and ready to go across parts of the mid-Atlantic. A Clipper system is moving into Washington and Baltimore, and it's going to mean a horrible afternoon commute for millions. And that does include those who use I-95. There's a live look for you right now. You can see the snow on the shoulder, on the median as well. Yeah, watch out for some slippery conditions, especially on the ramps and exits. We are going to show you who's under a winter weather advisory and the areas that could turn dangerous over the next few hours.
And the temperatures hurting jobs? Well, we'll take you to one part of the country where the lack of snow and warm temperatures is taking its toll on one important industry. And we'll go in depth. With these warm temperatures be sticking around much longer, we'll have expert analysis you won't find anywhere else now on Weather Center Live. Thank you so much for joining us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Alex Walls.
And I'm Kelly Cass. For a lot of you, it's going to be a messy Wednesday, unfortunately. And looking ahead, we've got a lot of changes to talk about for your weekend because, once again, it looks nasty for millions. First of all, though, let's talk about what's happening right now. Heavy snow, 32 degrees, and obviously reducing visibility quite a bit here in the Pittsburgh area. We do have a winter weather advisory in effect. That goes until 2 o'clock today. Further west, though, Cleveland, the snow finally winding down after a messy morning commute.
Yeah, meteorologist Mike Seidel, he's there to show you the conditions the city dealt with all morning.
It's been a snowy morning across northeast Ohio and right here in downtown Cleveland. We're in the shadows of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Snowfall totals 1 to 3 inches. Keep in mind, this is a clipper, not a major snowstorm. It clips along very quickly and has limited moisture, so thus the totals on the light side. But it's coming down at a pretty good clipper in the meat of it as we roll through the late morning hours. There's the Rock Hall, great exhibits in there. When you finish there, you can go next door to the Great Lakes Science Center. They've got some weather exhibits in there. And next door, the First Energy Stadium, where the Cleveland Browns play football. In the foreground, some Canadian geese and some seagulls have found an opening in the ice, and they're trying to find some lunch. That was a big problem last year because it was so cold, there was nowhere to find any open water. And speaking of that, let's go out to Lake Erie here, looking beyond the Good Time 3 boat, which goes out in the warmer months on dinner cruises, and you can certainly take that out and rent it and have it catered. But not today. It's iced in for now. And speaking of iced in, Lake Erie in the distance, take a look at the video I shot yesterday. 80% of the lake has ice. It iced over very quickly a couple weeks ago. Between the 6th and the 13th, it went from 5% to 80%. But keep in mind, Lake Erie is the shallowest of the 5 Great Lakes, only at around 62 feet in depth on average. So that's why it tends to have more ice than the other 4 lakes. As far as the snowfall goes, it wraps up. The afternoon will be much, much better. The evening drive, the PM rush will be fine here in the Cleveland area. But we have some more snow showers for the weekend, and next week it's going to be cold here. Temperatures running below the average of 31 with highs most days somewhere in the mid-20s. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel for the Weather Channel at Lake Erie and right here under the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
All right, thanks so much, Mike. As we continue to follow this clipper, that's going to work its way across the region here through the afternoon and into the evening as well. So here it is, sliding south and east. And then what we'll watch is a little area of low pressure developing just off the east coast, and that'll begin to slide its way on off towards the north and the east, helping to spread some snow here for some of the east coast spots. So let's look and talk about what's happening right now. There's the system and where it is located. See the snow, northeastern Ohio, working away across a good portion of Pennsylvania, starting to get into some of the snow, and down into Maryland. Watching out here for you, particularly just to the north and west of the D.C. area, where we are starting to see some of that snow work its way on in. Baltimore as well. Eventually Philadelphia, you'll get into some of this snow. In fact, let's time it out. There you go, across Pennsylvania, working into Jersey. Philly, seeing it through the afternoon and evening commute, heading up towards even New York City. You could see a little quick burst of some snow as well before we see things really quiet down heading into our Thursday morning. So how much snow are we anticipating? Well, a general 1 to 3 inches as what we are thinking. That could be enough to cause some slick spots out there, so slowing it down, that is your best bet. Pittsburgh, here you are dealing with the snow. It should come to an end as we get into our evening, dealing with those clouds and those temps in the 30s. Kelly?
Alex, it is so nice to see the snow where we really could use it, and that is under our skis and snowboards. There's a live look at Tahoe Ski Resort where you can see it is 25 degrees right now. Folks are bundled up and it is snowing, so it looks gorgeous. Wouldn't it be nice to be off during the middle of the week and take advantage of the fresh powder out there? Let's bring in our winter weather specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, joining me now from the lab. Hey there, Greg.
Kel, thank you very much. That's right. We got to look now towards Saturday and Saturday night for possibility of some snow in the Northeast in places that really haven't seen that much so far this season. Let's go to the maps here because this is critical. We got rain and snow mix really all the way to the coast on Saturday. And I have a feeling that that snow line is probably going to get to the beach overnight on Saturday. So again, it's a long way out because if you look at the system right now in the water vapor imagery, there it is kind of swirling around near the Four Corners. It's not going to take much time for it, though, to get to the Carolina coast, and the jet stream is going to carry it that way all the way to the coast. And by the time it gets there, we're going to see pretty substantial development of low pressure. In fact, probably rapid development off the Carolina coast on Friday night. The Euro model thinks it's going to go about like that. This is kind of an offshore track, the kind that we haven't seen much this year. The GFS, no surprise really, it also has an offshore track. And when you have tracks like that are offshore, that typically brings colder air to the coast and more chances for snow, which is what we think. For example, this is what the Euro shows. This is the Euro's snowfall forecast for Saturday and Saturday night. Does bring moderate to heavy snow across parts of the I-95 corridor, for example. It may be overdoing it. My sort of initial thoughts are probably so. The GFS also brings snow to the coast, not nearly as aggressive though, and that's an important point. But the point here is that there's consistency in this being one of those systems that does bring snow to the coast. And for example, if you want to look from run to run, valid Saturday night. So this is a forecast for Saturday night from the Euro. This was Monday morning's forecast for Saturday night. Notice the low pressure system here. This is now Monday night's forecast for Saturday night. So this is going through in the last previous set of runs, showing you at least how consistent the Euro has been in developing or keeping low pressure just offshore. And that is the key to bringing the snow so close in to the I-95 corridor. So here's our forecast when we blend all that stuff together. This is the really part of it that you need to take home. And there it is. We've got Saturday snow and or rain, mix of snow from DC to Boston. And I think more likely snow even in southeastern Massachusetts and Cape Cod for our Saturday night. Guys, there could be some significant amounts. So stay tuned for all the latest. Lots of changes, you know, and we'll keep all you updated on the snowy forecast. We'll be right back.
Didn't you already do all this over there?
Just wait. Parties always end up in the kitchen.
Get more Pepsi and Tostitos with unbeatable prices. Backed by Savings Catcher. Walmart.
You pay your auto insurance premium every month on the dot. You're like the poster child for paying on time. And then one day, you tap the bumper of a station wagon. No big deal until your insurance company jacks up your rates. You freak out. What good is having insurance if you get punished for using it? Hey, insurance companies, newsflash. Nobody's perfect.
For drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Zantac heartburn alert. Stop. Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
You may not be a prepper now, but you will be. Whether the next disaster is man-made or wrought by Mother Nature, you need a plan. WiseFoodStorage.com's emergency gourmet meals are made in the USA, delicious, easy to prepare, just add water, and packaged and proportioned perfectly, eliminating waste and creating a shelf life of up to 25 years. Why face your next emergency on an empty stomach? Request your free sample today at WiseFoodStorage.com.
Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Jim Cantori joins AMHQ starting Monday on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. Slight chance of a rain shower. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, generally clear. Low 66. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
No super slow motion footage of trucks splashing through the mud. No cowboy hats, horses, or hay bales. Just a Ram 3500 that head-to-head can out-tow Ford's F-350 by more than 1.5 tons. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com.
Alka-Seltzer Plus presents The Cold Truth.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something. I'll catch up later.
Truth is, Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go! And now, Alka-Seltzer Plus has a complete line of powders to treat your worst cold symptoms.
Testosterone therapy, low T therapy, has been linked to heart attack, stroke, blood clot, or death. If you have used testosterone therapy gels, sprays, patches, or pellet implants and were injured, you may be entitled to a cash award. If you're a male, use prescription testosterone therapy, and have suffered a heart attack, stroke, blood clot, or death, call now. You may be entitled to a cash award.
Call 1-877-668-5816 now. That's 1-877-668-5816.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live. Be careful traveling in this area of the Southwest. We're talking to you in New Mexico, Western Texas, Amarillo. Officially, a winter storm warning in effect for you from 3 until 6 o'clock. Rain mixed with snow, but then going over to all snow. You could see up to a foot of snow in some locations. We're already finding the snow at Taos, the ski resort in New Mexico, so some good news there. You can see the snow that's also been affecting travel up towards Denver, Colorado. It's all rain down toward the Pecos Valley, and in fact, it's going to continue to be rain between Dallas and Houston. But it's that pink, that's where we have the transition zone, that mix of rain and snow, rain going over to snow in places like Amarillo, where tomorrow Interstate 40 is still going to be impacted. I-20, though, it's mainly a rain event from Dallas eastward. Alex, over to you.
All right, well, you know, we've got a change coming in those temperatures. We're talking from Chicago over to New York City, the ATL as well. We're going to be noticing some changes as we head on through the weekend and into next week. So let's talk about just how those changes are going to play out as we move our way through the next few days. And what we'll see here is, well, late in the week here this week, generally across the nation, mild conditions. We've been sort of thawing out here in our January as the jet stream is well to the north, bottling up all that cold air up into Canada. Well, early next week, big dip in the jet stream here in the eastern half of the country, so the colder air will spill its way down into the eastern half of the country, while the western half, still dominated by a ridge, we'll see warm conditions setting up there. So let's get into some specifics. Here's our Sunday. Temps in the 30s around Chicago, back towards Raleigh, 54 degrees on Sunday. Then as we move into Monday, we start to notice the cooler stuff now. 20s showing up for us across the Great Lakes into the Northeast. Tuesday, watching 40s now down into the ATL. So you get the picture. It's not brutal cold, but nonetheless chillier than where we are now. We're talking temps in the 60s in the Atlanta area. By next week, it'll be a much chillier time. So Chicago, here we are over the next few. Mid to upper 30s heading into the weekend. A little bit of snow Sunday before Monday's high temperature of only 29 degrees. Heading on into New York City, sunshine and upper 30s. Next week, Monday, the high struggling to get to 30. Kelly?
Well, Alex, President Obama called out climate change skeptics during last night's State of the Union. He says the world's best scientists agree. All this following a report that highlighted 2014 as the warmest year on record.
2014 was the planet's warmest year on record. Now, one year doesn't make a trend, but this does. 14 of the 15 warmest years on record have all fallen in the first 15 years of this century. I've heard some folks try to dodge the evidence by saying they're not scientists, that we don't have enough information to act. Well, I'm not a scientist either. But you know what? I know a lot of really good scientists at NASA and at NOAA and at our major universities. And the best scientists in the world are all telling us that our activities are changing the climate. And if we don't act forcefully, we'll continue to see rising oceans, longer, hotter heat waves, dangerous droughts and floods, and massive disruptions that can trigger greater migration and conflict and hunger around the globe. The Pentagon says that climate change poses immediate risks to our national security. We should act like it. And that's why over the past 6 years, we've done more than ever to combat climate change, from the way we produce energy to the way we use it. That's why we've set aside more public lands and waters than any administration in history. And that's why I will not let this Congress endanger the health of our children by turning back the clock on our efforts.
Wow, there you have it. I tell you spent a lot of time on climate change in that address. Well, this afternoon and into the rest of the week could be some dangerous conditions on and off the roads.
That's right. Up next, as many of you could be dealing with the icy conditions, some life-saving advice you and your family need to know.
Earning unlimited cash back on purchases, that's a win. But imagine earning it twice. Introducing the Citi Double Cash Card. It lets you earn cash back twice. Once when you buy, and again as you pay. It's cash back, then cash back again. And that's a cash back win-win. The Citi Double Cash Card, the only card that lets you earn cash back twice on every purchase. With 1% when you buy and 1% as you pay. With 2 ways to earn, it makes a lot of other cards seem one-sided.
Huh. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance.
Everybody knows that.
Well, did you know that former pro football player Ickey Woods will celebrate almost anything?
Number 44. Woo! 44, that's me! Get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts, get some cold cuts. Woo! Give me some!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
44, ladies, that's me! Woo! Gonna get some cold cuts today. Guys, we all have our reasons to lose weight. We want to feel better, perform better, and have more energy. Well, no more excuses.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist, or your money back, guaranteed.
Nutrisystem works. Don't believe me, believe these guys. I lost 8 pounds in the first week.
This is the best I have felt in a long time.
I haven't felt this good in years. Thank you, Nutrisystem. Thanks to Nutrisystem, now you can feel better, look better, and perform better at any age faster than ever before.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes and Craving Crusher shakes free. New food selections, new expert guides. Call now and lock in 2014 prices, and shipping is free.
Man up and send that extra weight packing.
Call 877-523-SIZE now and lose your first 5 pounds fast.
Mondays at 9, the Weather Channel unearths the investigation.
This was a totally preventable accident.
The mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
And the final moments.
In 1 second.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris. And according to Mama, we're brothers.
Clearly.
At a firehouse table just like this, we learned about the tradition of great food and lots of it.
From the start, every Firehouse sub has honored our firefighter roots.
That's right. Take the hook and ladder sub, loaded with turkey, honey ham, Monterey Jack, steam heated. It's the sub that started the fire.
And now, the light version. Only $5.49, just 450 calories. Perfect for you, Robin.
Why are you looking at me?
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
1-800-314-8013.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori joins AMHQ starting Monday.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 66. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, welcome back as we check in on some of the snowflakes coating the grassy area here. We're looking in Westchester, Virginia, which is in the far northern part of the state, right along Interstate 81. There is a winter weather advisory in effect until 6 o'clock, so taking it slow here on the roads. They could become a little slick at times, particularly those bridges, overpasses as well. So a little bit of snow here for us in the mid-Atlantic. But farther south, Kelly, a much different story.
Oh, Alex, I say we take the show outside. Look at that beautiful sky over Atlanta, Georgia. This is a view from the Coca-Cola World Headquarters, where right now it is 60 degrees at this hour. Yesterday's high, we got all the way up to 67. Our average for this time of the year, right around 52. So this is a real bargain for this time of the year. Enjoy the 60s today because we do have a cool down and even some rain coming our way as well. Possibly even some snowflakes mixed in as we head towards early next week. So here comes the setup for the rain. We've got that moisture being pulled out of the Gulf of Mexico. Disturbance, an upper level disturbance. It's already affecting us across the west. That's going to be moving toward the east as well. So out ahead of that, it's able to draw up all that moisture. You can see the wind direction, our wind stream, pointed right at the Texas coastline. The storm system developing and moving east right along the Gulf Coast. So that means places like Dallas and Houston likely to get some rain, heavy at times, maybe even a rumble of thunder. That rain-snow mix is going to be moving toward the east as well as cold air dives in behind all that. We've got heavy snow for places like Taos, New Mexico, Albuquerque, a winter weather advisory, Amarillo, Texas, a winter storm warning. But for the most part, as it works its way into the southeast, it's going to be a rain event right along Interstate 20 between Jackson, Birmingham, and Atlanta. But note the pink and purple on the map here in the western parts of North Carolina, eastern Tennessee, even North Georgia. We can't rule out the possibility of some mixed precipitation, and that does include sleet and freezing rain. Now, some places are going to get quite a bit of rainfall. Where you see the darker green, we're indicating 2 to 3 inches of rainfall between now and Saturday. Places like Birmingham, Atlanta, mainly about an inch, but south of Atlanta towards Milledgeville, Macon, that's where you could see about 1 to 2 inches of rain. Even Tallahassee, we are likely to see more than an inch of rainfall. So here's a look at where we actually do need the rain, by the way. Dallas, it's been a slow start to the year. Our actual precip so far, a little over 7 inches. That's well below the average. New Orleans, we could use the rain as well. And even here in Mobile, since October 1st, we've only picked up about 11.5 inches of rainfall, and we usually get nearly 17 inches by this point. So here's the forecast. New Orleans, watch out Thursday night, by the way, heads up. Those storms could get quite dangerous. Alex?
All right, well, I tell you, drivers today need to be careful with more wintry conditions expected for this afternoon's rush hour. The ice and snow not only make the roads dangerous, but you also have to be careful around lakes and ponds.
Ice has been causing dangerous road conditions across the Northeast all week.
Oh, my God! Look out! Look
sliding cars and trucks out of control on the slick roads. With more snow expected today during the afternoon commute, Maryland DOT has been readying the salt trucks since early this morning to treat roads around the state. Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. could also see travel issues, all part of a winter that has car mechanics working overtime.
The damage is substantial. A lot of suspension damage, wheel damage, body damage, all around.
The danger isn't limited to roads, but also lakes and ponds as well.
Fire and ambulance, where's your emergency?
I'm just calling you back to let you know about the boys on the ice. They are still above water.
In Missouri, 3 young boys fell through thin ice earlier this week. Rescuers pulled all 3 to safety. 2 were treated for hypothermia and 1 remains in critical condition. Even our 4-legged friends need to heed the thin ice warnings. This dog rescued in Indiana yesterday after wandering onto a frozen pond near its home.
Ice, my least likely or favorite thing out there.
Oh, I know. Very scary.
Absolutely. But when there's potential for wintry weather, we're not the only ones who want you to make sure you're staying safe.
Crews are also out there and about doing their part to make sure you don't run into problems if you do have to get behind the wheel. Details straight ahead.
There's people who care where I'm going and good friends who welcome me home. So get a full tank of freedom, drive the American road. And with a full tank of freedom, find your own highway. We'll take you wherever you go. Take you wherever you go.
You know, there's a more enjoyable way to get your fiber. Try Phillips Fiber Good Gummies. They're delicious and an excellent source of fiber to help support regularity.
These are good.
The tasty side of fiber from Phillips.
You know, some people have told me reverse mortgages sound too good to be true. I mean, you get cash out of your home, no monthly payments, and still own your home. There's got to be a catch, right, Jesse? Well, there isn't. It's like any other mortgage, only with a reverse mortgage, the loan's paid back when the last borrower leaves the home. In fact, reverse mortgages are based on a notion that President Reagan signed into law over 25 years ago in order to help seniors remain in their homes. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage with AAG that allows you to turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. And with AAG, there are never any income or credit score requirements.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive a new free information kit, including a reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a brand new family guide for children and loved ones, all absolutely free with no obligation.
AAG can help you pay off credit card debt, eliminate monthly mortgage payments, and provide some real retirement security.
Call 1-800-661-0312 today to get your free AAG reverse mortgage information kit and bonus DVD.
In the kits, you'll receive a helpful 3-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a reverse mortgage. And the third guide is full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free.
They're simply an effective way for folks just like you to get the cash you need to enjoy your retirement.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free. Call 1-800-661-0312 now.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
Mondays at 9, the Weather Channel unearths the investigation.
This was a totally preventable accident.
The mysteries.
Nobody was flying the plane.
And the final moments.
In 1 second, their fellow passengers were sitting there. A second later, they were gone.
Why planes crash. Mondays at 9, here on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 66. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Right now, a live look at the nation's capital, the White House. And look at the flakes of snow coming down here. We started to go from the rain now to snow in and around D.C. Not seeing much accumulation out there. Grassy surfaces are still doing okay, the roadways as well, but we have to be mindful. The snow working its way on through for this afternoon could make things a little slick. In fact, D.C. under a winter weather advisory. Well, hello, and thanks so much for joining us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Alex Wallace.
And I'm Kelly Cass. We want to get right to this fast-moving Clipper system. As you plan your commute home later this evening, there could be some delays out there on the roads. In fact, take a look at this. We already saw some heavy snow earlier this morning in Cleveland. Picked up a quick inch, but you know what? It's still snowing there right now. So watch out for some slick spots out there on the roadways. And Alex, one thing about Clippers is they typically do come in and move out rather quickly as well.
They do, and that's the good thing about it. It's not going to hang around too long, but that doesn't mean we don't need to let our guard down. They can still be a little pesky and cause some issues out there. So we'll watch this thing as we head on through the evening hours. Here's what it'll do: sliding its way south and east through the mid-Atlantic. Then we'll actually see an area of low pressure developing just off the coast and then slide on off towards the north and the east. Again, all happening very quickly. There's its position right now, and you can see some of the snow overtaking a good chunk of Pennsylvania, down now into the mid-Atlantic, seeing some of that snow being reported in and around D.C. Both Dulles and Reagan reporting some of that snow over towards Baltimore as well. We're going to see Philadelphia before long getting it as well. We're right now reporting just cloudy skies. Precipitation just not quite making its way down to the ground. Call that virga. It's evaporating before it reaches the surface here. But that'll change here within the next hour or so. We'll keep that threat for snow around Philly, even around New York City. This evening can't rule out a little bit of snow. Then by the time we get into Thursday morning, a lot of this pretty much is out over the open waters of the Atlantic. So we could see a good 1 to 3 inches of snow. So again, we're not talking blockbuster amounts, but enough that could cause some issues for travel delays. That's why there are winter weather advisories that are in place. DC, here's how you'll fare. We're seeing some of the snowflakes showing up already. They change that back over to a little bit of rain before we dry things out later this evening. In Philly, the snow for our afternoon and into our evening commute. So that could be a bit of a headache there for you. Kelly, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Alex. Well, officials in Washington, D.C. have deployed more than 200 trucks to deal with this fast-moving Clipper that's moving through. Reagan Medji has more on what's being done to keep everyone safe.
The snow is really starting to come down here in Gaithersburg, Maryland. We're about 10 miles outside of Washington, D.C. And right behind me is a bulldozer that has been in full use all throughout the day because that is responsible for grabbing all of this, which is salt, and loading it into the dump trucks and the salt spreaders. Here's what's going on the ground right now as we speak. And basically throughout the day on 270 interstate and also through the Beltway, there are about 352 salt trucks in motion right now, carrying about 5,000 tons of salt. This is one of the salt sheds in Gaithersburg, Maryland, responsible for being able to fuel all of those trucks with the salt. This is what's happening now, but if we look forward in through the day, it's going to be likely unpredictable because if the temperatures drop even more from what it is now, this snow could likely freeze, causing a very slippery situation. But right now, all the officials here are looking very closely to the ground and, of course, to the sky. Back to you.
All right, well, we work our way on into the Lone Star State, Dallas. Things not looking too bad here for us. Got some blue skies out there, but some clouds trying to move on in. Eventually, Dallas, we are going to watch that move into the area. Wet conditions out there expected as we work our way on into this evening. A little bit farther to the west, though, that's where the threat for a bit of snow is, and that's where we are finding right now, moving its way through portions of the panhandle of Texas. And let's find out how this is all going to play out. This system pulling out of the southwest and eventually getting into the northeast, right, Dr. Postel?
Yeah, exactly right, Alex. I mean, it's going to get to the northeast, we think, over the weekend, and there could be some significant snow along with it. You know, so often this year we've seen rain events, especially along the coast in New England and the northeast. This one, I think, is going to be a colder one. The question is, how much snow is it going to be? Let's go to our maps on Saturday and show you that, you know, the same system that's got some snow right now in the southern plains is going to get to the coast, we think, in a few days' time. And here it is. Here's how we break it out. We've got the snow in the interior and at least a mixture of rain and snow on the coast. And I'm thinking Saturday night that may even go over to all snow. The system is right here. That's the one near the four corners on the water vapor imagery that's kind of swirling around. It's an upper level swirly, I like to call these things. And it's going to be moving slowly initially, but then it's going to pick up speed. The jet stream is pretty fast, and it's going to move it to the Carolina coast between now and, say, Friday night. So there it is out here, and it's going to go that way. And when it gets to the coast, we're going to see development underneath it. Surface low pressure will develop, and probably pretty rapidly as it moves northeastward. Now, this is critical. This is the track from the Euro. Notice how it's kind of going offshore. Now, for those of you in New England and the Northeast, you're familiar with storm tracks and snow. That's kind of the track you want. You want it to be offshore to keep the cold air in. If it hugs the coast or goes inland, then it's more of a rain event. But we're not seeing that in the data right now. We're seeing Euro and GFS and other models as well show that characteristic track, which, if nothing else, should ensure it cold enough for snow across the region. Here's the Euro forecast for snow, which does include some moderate totals all along the I-95 corridor from D.C. to Boston. And the GFS track, which is a little farther to the east, does bring less snow, but still gets it all the way to the beach, which is something we haven't seen much of this weekend. Now, there's a lot of consistency in these models. You know, if you go day by day, going back, and how many days have we seen this coming? It's been quite a few runs now that have done the same thing. For example, here's the European model forecast for Saturday night. That's where they think the low pressure is going to be. But if you go back one run, and you can see that they're still forecasting basically the same position. So the idea is that there is a consensus here for an offshore low pressure, a pretty big one too at that is going to be moving off in that direction. And when you put all of that together, guys, that sets us up for a Friday night scenario that looks like that and does bring, I think, snow all the way to the coast as we move through the weekend. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Greg, for the heads up into the future. But let's go back to present day because we are seeing some issues out there in northern Texas. We've got snow in the forecast. State DOT crews are already out there trying to keep those roads open.
Yeah, so let's bring in now Paul Braun with the Texas Department of Transportation. And Paul, thanks so much for chatting with us here this afternoon. Can you give us an update on any potential and trouble spots that your crews have encountered so far?
Well, heavy snow has already started around the Dalhart area. That's at the intersection of US 54 and US 87 in the extreme northwestern panhandle of Texas. That is coming down this way. We haven't seen a lot of precipitation yet in the Amarillo metro area, but that is expected later on this afternoon. And our crews are out pre-treating right now with salt brine, and our crews up in the Dalhart area have already started plowing.
And we know Amarillo's under a winter storm warning for later on today. We could see at least 6 inches of snow. Are you having to call in extra crews to deal with this?
At this point, we have the resources necessary to take care of it. We do get a lot of snow up here each winter, and so we're kind of used to this happening. But we do have resources available to us if we need them, and they are ready and standing by.
Now, Paul, last winter was a wild one, and some states are pretty low on the salt and the sand. Talk to us about how your state is doing with supplies.
We have what we need, and we do have a large salt supplier, not only in New Mexico, but one in east central Texas. And we do have what we need to take us through these storms.
All right, Paul Braun, thank you so much for joining us from the Texas DOT. And yes, even here in Texas, we are ready for it, right?
Absolutely. So yeah, let those guys get out there, do their job, stay off the roads.
Yes.
That's the best bet.
Definitely.
All right, well, if you like planning ahead, we've got you covered straight ahead. We're getting you through the next week.
That's right. And you always want to make sure that you are protected if you do have to deal with snow and ice. But what about your furry friends? Some close call rescues. We're going to talk about that coming up next.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 66. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
Why do you want to shop Walmart's new selection of stylish frames? Because you need a surprisingly low price to match that surprising new look.
Oh, sorry. My ringtone.
The new frames and new styles you want are at the Walmart Vision Center, starting at $58. Walmart.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels. Then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
My feet felt so heavy at the end of the day.
They used to get really tired.
Until I started gelling.
I got Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
When they're in my shoes, my feet and legs feel less tired.
It's like walking on a wave.
Dr. Scholl's massaging gel insoles.
I'm a believer.
No chest-beating monologues about engine size, horsepower, or performance. No anthemic soundtracks to stir the soul. Just a Ram heavy duty that can carry more weight than any other heavy-duty truck. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com.
Sir, we're loaded and getting ready to go. We're going to need you on the runway.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back.
Sir?
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
I typed my name, and Ancestry opened the door to the world's largest online collection of family history records. Discover your story today at Ancestry.com.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to your rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. This is Humira giving me new perspective. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for 10 years. Humira works for many adults. It targets and helps to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at Work.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Lindsay.
And today is day number 1
of our
Hydroxycut transformation.
Because we're going all the way. I lost 32 pounds.
And I lost 44 pounds.
Hydroxycut, it really works.
Hydroxycut is America's #1 selling weight loss supplement brand.
Lose weight your way.
Mix and match gummies, tablets, and drink mix.
Hydroxycut got us off the couch and playing with the kids.
Can't catch them all the time.
Speak for yourself.
Lose weight your way.
Well, you know, we've been warning you about the dangers of thin ice during this January thaw. Well, let's extend that caution to our pets. Not once, not twice, but 3 times on Tuesday, fire departments in the Indianapolis area pulled dogs from icy ponds. Now, thankfully, rescuers got all 3 animals safely out of the cold water. They say pet owners shouldn't let dogs roam when icy ponds are such a dangerous lure.
Oh, I bet they were so glad to get out of that frozen water. You know, it's a story of the haves and have-nots, by the way, when it comes to the snow. The East Coast getting plenty of back-to-back clippers, but not so much in the West. In fact, take a look at this tweet from Badger Pass on Monday. It says here, Badger Pass ski area will close after business today, January 19th. We plan on reopening as soon as we receive the appropriate amount of snow. Dance, because they want everybody to, you know, try to do something to get that snow to come. Well, Nevada Ski Resort is concerned that tweets just like that could start rumors that it's also been shut down by Mother Nature.
Yeah, Mount Rose Ski Tahoe wants everyone to know that most of its runs are open despite the warm and dry winter they're having out west. KRNV's Ashley Collins has their story.
Mount Rose marketing director Mike Pierce says rumors could keep skiers and snowboarders off their mountains, but a lack of snow won't. He says early season storms at high elevations gave them an advantage.
We were getting lots of good snow where others may not have, so we know we had probably the best conditions in Tahoe right now, just because altitude's everything.
Pierce says 70% of their runs are open, and they've been busy despite the unusually warm weather.
And what have the skiers and snowboarders been saying?
They love it. Everybody was here we did some good, solid business this weekend.
I was here yesterday, and it was more like spring conditions. It was actually kind of hot up here.
What's it like to board in these warmer temperatures?
It's nice. It's like spring. It's just, you don't have to get super bundled up or anything.
Father and son Eddie and Chase Kulikowski have been snowboarding together at Mount Rose for years. While the drought is making conditions less than ideal, they say they're still happy to hit the slopes.
As long as it gets cold enough at night, they keep making snow, and so they're doing a good job here.
If I have any advice, just take it easy and have fun. Don't like try to go all jet devil and stuff, because it's really fast now.
Pierce says don't let the spring-like weather fool you. It's still very much ski season at Mount Rose.
Yeah, we're going to keep praying for snow as always, but some of the best days to ski are on beautiful sunny days just like today.
Oh, that does look beautiful. Bluebird Day, they call it, right? Let's check out your 7-day forecast. Starting off with today, of course, the rest of today, we're going to be monitoring places like Chicago, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and even all way over to Philadelphia and New York City. We've got snow in your forecast with this fast-moving Clipper system coming on through. We're also looking at the next system, though, bringing some snow, heavy at times, to parts of New Mexico. Great news for Taos ski resort area, but also watch out here in the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma for that wintry mix. Rain changing over to snow in places like Amarillo, where you do have a winter storm warning going into effect this afternoon, and it looks like that snow will continue to be with us as we head into the day tomorrow. Otherwise, it's just plain old rain. Dallas to Houston, temperatures in the 40s. Atlanta, enjoy the next couple of days, looking beautiful today and tomorrow, above average temperatures, but eventually that rain is going to sneak on in to the southeast just in time for your TGI Friday plans. Wet weather all the way up towards Charlotte and Raleigh, Roanoke, Virginia as well. Be careful traveling along Interstate 81. And this pink on the map is also an approximation of the 32-degree line. So we are concerned that there could be some rain mixed with snow across some of these areas like Memphis and Little Rock. And as we head into Saturday, we're going to see enough cold air all the way down the southern Appalachians. So the high country of western North Carolina, the Smokies here, all likely to get some snowfall. Otherwise, Atlanta, yeah, we could see a few snowflakes mixed in, but otherwise temperatures in the upper 40s. And we're looking at another system that's going to be affecting the northern tier of the country from Minneapolis to Chicago, all the way over towards Columbus, Ohio. Some snow here, rain farther south, and otherwise drying out across the Gulf Coast. Alex, over to you.
Well, I'll tell you, winter rearing its head again, and we are talking about what's shaping up to possibly be a powerful storm. Check it out. We've got winter storm warnings in place across parts of the Southwest. That includes Santa Fe, Albuquerque, down to Roswell, and spreading into the Amarillo area. D.C. right now dealing with a Clipper system. We've got snowflakes flying around the Capitol building.
What are you doing? There's no dip in that bowl.
They're Pringles tortillas. It's so good they don't need dip.
Why do you have to imaginary dip?
Well, everybody was dipping and I wasn't invited to dip.
Can I have some from your bowl?
Please, have some dip.
All
We'll
right.
have some together.
Okay.
Not bad, right?
I think I'll have some more.
It's a double dip. You double dipped. Okay, now I'm gonna have to wash this entire...
Pringles tortillas. So good, you don't dip them, you air dip them.
Pringles! Why do you want to shop Walmart's new selection of stylish frames? Because you need a surprisingly low price to match that surprising new look.
Oh, sorry. My ringtone.
The new frames and new styles you want are at the Walmart Vision Center, starting at $58. Walmart.
Atlantic Beach Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Starting Monday, Jim Cantori joins Sam Champion and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here, and that's just Sam.
Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Constipated? Dulcolax tablets can cause cramps, but not Phillips. It has magnesium and works more naturally than stimulant laxatives for gentle cramp-free relief of occasional constipation.
That works.
Live the regular life. Phillips.
In commodities, rawhide bones are up, while pig ears traded even for the day. Overseas, the French peoples are celebrating Bastille Days.
Hi, this is Connor. Sorry I missed you. I'm either away from my desk or on another call. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you just as soon as I'm available. Thank you for your patience at this busy time.
Join us for stargazing with Discovery at Sea. Enjoy cruises from $4.99 during our 50th anniversary sale. Call your travel consultant or 1-800-PRINCESS. Princess Cruises. Come back new.
Hut. When it comes to losing weight, everyone has a number. And if you want to get your performance back and feel great, do what I did. One call and I lost it all. 22 pounds gone.
Lose weight fast with Nutrisystem's Fast 5 Plus Kit. Lose 5 pounds in your first week, plus 1 inch off your waist or your money back, guaranteed.
Nutrisystem has everything you need to feel better, look better, and perform better at any age, faster than ever before.
I haven't felt this good in years. Thank you, Nutrisystem. I lost 8 pounds in the first week.
Order your 28-day Nutrisystem plan right now, including Fast 5 Plus. Get 1 week of meals, plus 1 week of energizing shakes and Craving Crusher shakes, free. New food selections, new expert guides. Call now and lock in 2014 prices, and shipping is free.
Whether your numbers...
I'm Robin.
And I'm Chris. And according to Mama, we're brothers.
Clearly. At a firehouse table just like this, we learned about the tradition of great food and lots of it.
From the start, every Firehouse sub has honored our firefighter roots.
That's right. Take the hook and ladder sub, loaded with turkey, honey ham, Monterey Jack, steam heated. It's the sub that started the fire.
And now, the light version. Only $5.49, just 450 calories. Perfect for you, Robin.
Why are you looking at me?
Firehouse Subs, founded by firemen.
The kids knew that I had a problem. I tried to make light of it for myself. Denial. I tried to say, oh, I'm not the only one that drinks like this. And that moment of clarity when I had hit bottom and realized that something had to be done, with that moment of clarity, I realized I've lost some good years with them. I've lost some time that I can't get back, and I don't want to give away any more time.
told the house they would take better care of her. Always.
Protect what matters. Get flood insurance.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Welcome back into Weather Center Live as we continue to follow our Clipper system, which is now working its way through the mid-Atlantic. Look at the scene here. The White House, that's on the right. You can at least see a little bit, but you look towards the Capitol, and it is very tough to see. Visibility down quite a bit out there for you. We've also noticed that some of the airports also dealing with some delays, getting up around 30 minutes because they're starting to have to de-ice some of the planes. So if you have flights headed out here in and around D.C., over towards Baltimore, check with those airlines because you may be delayed. Also, roadways could become a little slick as well. There's quick bursts of snow out there for you heading into our late afternoon and early evening rush. Could make it a little bit on the slow side. All right, let's get the very latest here on this system, plus what is to come heading into the weekend. We head to the lab now with Kelly and Dr. Postel.
Hey, Alex, we know the Capitol's in there somewhere, but what's remarkable, I'm here in the lab with Dr. Postel, is the temperature in D.C. right now, 37 degrees, and we're getting that kind of snow and visibility.
Right. You know what? That tells us that the air is pretty dry, and it's cooled down aloft quite a bit as the snow has come down from the clouds. So what I think is happening, Kelly, is that the freezing level is not very far off the ground. So maybe right at the ground, it may be 37, but I bet you go a few hundred feet up and it's below freezing.
I mean, look at that. That is very little visibility right there. And like you said, the temperature is right at the surface, pretty warm overall. So hopefully it's just kind of hitting the pavement and melting.
Yeah.
But, you know, but still, as Alex just mentioned, you got to give yourself extra time getting there because there could be some slushy spots.
Exactly. Baltimore 32 and up and down 995, we're right around 32. So there will be some accumulating snow, certainly on grass and things, surfaces that are a little bit colder. But yeah, right now, D.C. 36 and coming down pretty hard.
And you know, it's been a while this season for that cold air to meet up with the moisture and actually get snow in some of the big cities along the coast.
Yeah, it's been really hard. I mean, I know a lot of snow lovers in D.C. are scratching their heads going, come on, can't you do better this winter? This winter has absolutely just been awful if you're a snow lover in that area and in the I-95 corridor. You've had your ice, like we saw last weekend. You've had all kinds of rain and messy
storms.
We don't like ice. No, and this is one that's really not going to be much, but it will be kind of snow, it'll be pretty anyway, if nothing else.
It comes through relatively quickly, though.
By 9 or 10 o'clock tonight, out to sea, done. But still, maybe 1 to 3 in places. I think 3 maybe on the high end. If you're lucky, you'll get 3. I think more like 1 or 2.
Okay, so places like Johnstown, Pennsylvania State College, and then eventually as we head toward the weekend, we've got yet another system to deal with.
Yeah, this one I think is going to be more substantial, obviously, than the little clipper that's moving through right now. But what we're noticing with this track in the models is that it's going to be, we think, more likely to produce snow in the coastal areas than rain, which is something we haven't seen much of this year. Remember, we were just talking about that. It's been a lot of rainy events or icy events. This one, I think, even though here on Saturday we've got this sort of pink area of rain, and so if I were a betting man, and I am, I'd bring some of that snow a little closer to the coast. The question is, how much are we going to get? And there's time to sort it out because the system right now is still way back there.
Way back here. So yeah, we've got some time to watch it, but right now it looks like a pretty active flow across the country.
Good point. It is. And you know, the jet stream is kind of moving along in that southern branch here across part of the U.S. And this guy in the Four Corners, that's the culprit. And when that gets to the Carolina coast, Kelly, we're going to have pretty substantial development of low pressure, I think, on Friday night right there. Off the Carolina coast, the Euro model brings the track about like that. Notice this, though. The GFS model, it's kind of the same. I mean, really, they're pretty close. That's pretty close agreement there. And what that tells me is that an offshore track like that, that's the kind that you want if you want snow to the coast. But if you're a little bit farther offshore, then you get less snow. The Euro with its offshore track that's kind of close to the coast brings some moderate amounts. The GFS with the offshore track, but that's a little bit farther offshore, less snow amounts. But still, we're looking at more likely snow on the coast than rain.
More snow and better than the freezing rain, too. That's for sure.
Yes, indeed.
All right, Greg, thanks so much. Alex, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Well, it is Wednesday, but you might already be making plans for the weekend. We're making sure that you are prepared. We're talking temperature changes, snow, ice, rain. Well, not to worry. We are tracking and timing what's coming your way. Coming up in our next hour of Weather Center Live. Meanwhile, we get you back to D.C. I promise you, the Capitol building is there, but you can't see it. That's because we've got this burst of snow with the system moving through, making it tough to see.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 66. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The salt and sand trucks are on standby and ready to go across parts of the Mid-Atlantic. A clipper system moving into Washington and Baltimore, and it's going to mean a horrible afternoon commute for millions. And that does include those of you who use I-95. There's a live look at the conditions right now. You can barely see right in front of you, and traffic is moving ever so slowly. This is courtesy of Virginia Department of Transportation. We'll show you who's under a winter weather advisory and the areas that could turn dangerous over the next few hours.
And the temperatures hurting jobs? We'll take you to one part of the country where the lack of snow and warm temperatures is taking its toll on one important industry. And we'll go in depth. Will these warm temperatures stick around much longer? We have expert analysis you won't find anywhere else right now on Weather Center Live. Well, hello, and thank you so much for joining us here on Weather Center Live. I'm Alex Wallace.
And I'm Kelly Cass. For a lot of you, it is going to be a messy Wednesday. It's already a mess in some parts of the country. And looking ahead, we've got some more changes that are going to be affecting your weekend. But right now, there's a live look at Pittsburgh on the left, D.C. on the right. If you can barely make out the Capitol building, yes, that is our nation's capital, getting some pretty heavy snow right now.
They are. In fact, just a report out of Dulles, over an inch of snow already there.
Already. And this is a clipper system, which typically moves in relatively quickly, but it can cause problems relatively quickly as well. And you know, further west in Cleveland, the snow finally winding down after a messy morning commute.
Yeah, meteorologist Mike Seidel, he's there to show you the conditions the city dealt with all morning.
It's been a snowy morning across northeast Ohio and right here in downtown Cleveland. We're in the shadows of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Snowfall totals 1 to 3 inches. Keep in mind, this is a clipper, not a major snowstorm. It clips along very quickly and has limited moisture, so thus the totals on the light side. But it's coming down at a pretty good clipper in the meat of it as we roll through the late morning hours. There's the Rock Hall, great exhibits in there. When you finish there, you can go next door to the Great Lakes Science Center. They've got some weather exhibits in there. And next door, the First Energy Stadium, where the Cleveland Browns play football. In the foreground, some Canadian geese and some seagulls have found an opening in the ice, and they're trying to find some lunch. That was a big problem last year because it was so cold, there was nowhere to find any open water. And speaking of that, let's go out to Lake Erie here, looking beyond the Good Time 3 boat, which goes out in the warmer months on dinner cruises, and you can certainly take that out and rent it and have it catered. But not today. It's iced in for now. And speaking of iced in, Lake Erie in the distance, take a look at the video I shot yesterday. 80% of the lake has ice. It iced over very quickly a couple weeks ago. Between the 6th and the 13th, it went from 5% to 80%. But keep in mind, Lake Erie is the shallowest of the 5 Great Lakes, only at around 62 feet in depth on average. So that's why it tends to have more ice than the other 4 lakes. As far as the snowfall goes, it wraps up. The afternoon will be much, much better. The evening drive, the PM rush will be fine here in the Cleveland area. But we have some more snow showers for the weekend, and next week it's going to be cold here. Temperatures running below the average of 31 with highs most days somewhere in the mid-20s. I'm meteorologist Mike Seidel for the Weather Channel at Lake Erie and right here under the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland.
All right, Mike, east of there, we are still tracking this clipper, and it's going to be impacting us through the rest of the afternoon and into the evening, right? There we've got those winter weather advisories that are still in place. Pittsburgh down towards D.C., Baltimore, Philly as well. So watching out. Snow coming into these areas that could lead to some travel difficulties. So here we are through the evening. There's the system marching its way east. Then we'll see a little area of low pressure try to develop just off the coast before that begins to work its way off to the east a little bit more. We see things settling down. But right now, this snow overtaking a good chunk of central PA down on into Maryland. Seeing the snow there taking over around D.C., Baltimore as well, and Philly, you'll be getting on in this here before long. We'll start to see some of this that's showing up on the radar actually reaching the ground. Right now, just overcast skies, just a bit too dry right now. We got to moisten up the atmosphere a bit because right now we're seeing that precipitation falling, but then evaporating before hitting the ground. That's what's known as Virga. All right, look at the temperatures. It's 36 degrees in D.C., but it is snowing there. So we'll have to watch out there. Some of those slick spots could start to get going, particularly around Baltimore, where temperatures are below freezing, and certainly the cases you have towards Harrisburg as well. All this snow will continue to slide its way north and eastbound. Parts of Long Island, even over towards the Cape, could see some snow later tonight into the overnight period, and we could see a decent swath here of about 1 to 3 inches of snow. So slowing it down if you're heading out this afternoon. Kelly, we'll send it back to you.
Good advice, Alex, and it's great to see snow where a lot of folks really could use it. The ski resort's having some fun out there at Taos. This is in northern New Mexico. 3 to 5 inches of snow has accumulated there already, and the chairs don't appear to be moving right there. But if you watch this long enough, you'll see some skiers going on by, and it's great to take advantage of fresh powder if you can during the week without the crowds. All right, let's bring in Dr. Greg Postel joining me now from the lab to track this system heading toward the east. Hey, Greg.
Kel, thank you very much. Yeah, you know, we're going to, I think, have some snow in the northeast all the way to the coast, unlike we've seen a lot of this year on Saturday, and especially Saturday night. Let's go to the maps on Saturday because I want to show you where we think it is going to snow and have maybe at least a rain mix of snow in the I-95 corridor, really. And I think the cold air is going to get all the way to the beach this time around. Unlike we've seen a lot of, as I mentioned earlier, we've seen a lot of ice events and kind of rain even on the coast has been kind of a common theme this season. This time, this system will be a little bit colder, thanks in part to the track it's going to take. Let me show you where it is now and show you where it's going to go. There it is, right near the Four Corners, kind of swirling around like that. These little swirlies are upper level circulations that tend to produce low pressure underneath them as they move along. This one is going to be carried by a pretty fast jet stream eventually toward the Carolina coast, and I think by about Friday night or early Saturday it's going to get to the coast, and we can track it and you can see how it moves sort of day by day. There we go to Friday, and then, you know, Friday night or maybe Saturday during the day, that upper level circulation will be here, and underneath that, that's where we're going to see coastal development, and the coastal development will be pretty significant. We're going to call it a bomb because it really is. The models are suggesting a deepening rate of more than 24 millibars in 24 hours. And for those of you who don't know what that means, that just means it's going to get really strong really quickly and be pretty windy. I don't think it's going to be close enough to produce a blizzard or anything like that on the coast. But the track, if you notice, is kind of like that. It's an offshore track, which is more likely to bring snow into the northeast and the northeast coast than one that's farther inland. So what we've done is blended all the models together and optimized the sort of errors here. So this is what it's most likely to happen, we think, on Saturday. There you go. The blues represent snow, and then we have the mixture of rain and snow farther to the southeast. But I think that snow is going to get to the coast on Saturday night, including New York and Boston. How much? Stay tuned. We'll have all the latest on this snowy forecast coming up right after the break.
Oh, there's an energy crisis happening, all right. A human one. And it's time to fight it. With the good energy of Quaker Oats. It's how we help keep go-getters like you going and getting. One bite at a time. Try new Quick Steel Cut oatmeal for a heartier texture. Quaker Up. Heartburn.
Did someone say burn? Try Alka-Seltzer Relief Chews. They work just as fast and are proven to taste better than Tums Smoothies assorted fruit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Alka-Seltzer Heartburn Relief Chews. Enjoy the relief.
Ring, ring. Progresso. I can't believe I'm eating bacon-enriched creamy cheese before my sister's wedding.
Well, it's only 100 calories, so you'll be ready for that dress.
Uh-huh.
You don't love the dress?
I love my sister.
40 flavors, 100 calories or less.
The getaway vehicle. For all the confidence you need. TD Ameritrade. You got this.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantore joins Sam Champion and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ starting Monday.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 66. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Even if it's your last one, always share the softness of Kleenex tissues.
You owned your car for 4 years. You named it Brad. You loved Brad. And then you totaled him. You two had been through everything together. 2 boyfriends, 3 jobs. You're like, nothing can replace Brad. Then Liberty Mutual calls. And you break into your happy dance.
If you sign up for Better Car Replacement, we'll pay for a car that's a model year newer with 15,000 fewer miles than your old one. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
No pictures of trucks pulling boats. No photos of men working on ranches. Just a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel that gets 156 more miles per tank than the Ford F-150 EcoBoost. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com.
Hey, everybody, be careful traveling across the mid-Atlantic right now between Baltimore and D.C. This is a live look for you showing the snow coming down near Baltimore, Maryland. Fortunately, right at the surface, temperatures are above freezing, so a lot of that melting when it hits the pavement, but still snow accumulating on the grassy surfaces, perhaps the elevated roadways as well. And we're also talking about reduced visibility if you're traveling through D.C. right now. So there's a look at where we have the winter weather advisories from Philadelphia back towards Pittsburgh, parts of West Virginia, over towards D.C., Baltimore. You're included in this. In fact, already we've had reports of 1 to 2 inches accumulating, especially just north and west of Washington, D.C. Here in the Southwest, also slow it down on the roadways. We've got winter storm warnings in effect. Amarillo back towards Santa Fe, especially for later on this afternoon as that rain snow mix changes over to all snow. Winter storm watches shaded in the lighter blue there in West Texas, where right now primarily a rain event here just to the south and west of San Angelo. But there's your snow already happening. Colorado into the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Alex, over to you.
All right, Kelly, well, a change is coming in those temperatures. We're going to start to feel it from Chicago, working our way over towards New York City, the ATL as well. We're right now Atlanta. We're talking temps in the low 60s. It's been gorgeous the last couple of days, right? Well, we're going to watch those numbers come down a bit as that change in the pattern takes place. A lot of the country has enjoyed some milder times here for a good portion of this week. The jet stream's been well to the north here up into Canada, so above average readings is what we've generally found ourselves ourselves dealing with. So it's been warm, but the change takes place early next week. Big dip in the east, big trough. That's going to mean the chillier numbers here in the eastern half of the country, while the western half of the nation stays on the warm side. So let's tackle the east. Sunday here for you. Temps in the mid-30s. Chicago over towards New York City. Once we get into Monday, those temperatures are dropping. Now we're talking 20s. Even parts of the south start to feel it by the time we get into our Tuesday. Only 47 degrees showing up for you in not so hot Atlanta. Chi-Town, here you are over the next few days. Low to mid-30s. Up to near 40 by the time we get to Saturday. And then a burst of snow Sunday rolls in before those temperatures only top out at 29 degrees on that Monday. Kelly?
Thanks, Alex. President Obama called out climate change skeptics during last night's State of the Union. He says the world's best scientists agree. All this following a report that highlighted 2014 as the warmest year on record.
2014 was the planet's warmest year on record. Now, one year doesn't make a trend, but this does. 14 of the 15 warmest years on record have all fallen in the first 15 years of this century. I've heard some folks try to dodge the evidence by saying they're not scientists, that we don't have enough information to act. Well, I'm not a scientist either. But you know what? I know a lot of really good scientists at NASA and at NOAA and at our major universities. And the best scientists in the world are all telling us that our activities are changing the climate. And if we don't act forcefully, we'll continue to see rising oceans, longer, hotter heat waves, dangerous droughts and floods, and massive disruptions that can trigger greater migration and conflict and hunger around the globe. The Pentagon says that climate change poses immediate risks to our national security. We should act like it. And that's why over the past 6 years, we've done more than ever to combat climate change, from the way we produce energy to the way we use it. That's why we've set aside more public lands and waters than any administration in history. And that's why I will not let this Congress endanger the health of our children by turning back the clock on our efforts.
Well, there you have it. The president spending quite a bit of time there in the address on climate change.
We also talked about those low gas prices, which I'm actually
liking.
Which we
are loving it, right? All right, well, this afternoon and into the rest of the week could be dangerous conditions on and off the roads.
Up next, as many of you could be dealing with icy conditions, some life-saving advice you and your family need to know before you head out.
Gonna wash the dust off my soul. Gonna listen to some rock and roll. No cares, come what may. I'm making a beautiful day.
You're only young once, unless you have a Subaru.
The Subaru XV Crosstrek. Symmetrical all-wheel drive plus 34 mpg. Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Salt and pepper, you tell people to push it.
Push it real good.
It's what you do. If you want to save 15% or more on car insurance, you switch to Geico. It's what you do.
I'm pushing it real good.
Energizer Ultimate Lithium, the world's longest lasting AA battery in high-tech devices. Up to 6 times longer than the other leading brand.
I have the flu with a runny nose. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold won't treat your runny nose.
Really?
Alka-Seltzer Severe Cold and Flu relieves your worst flu symptoms plus runny nose.
Oh, what a relief it is. Mommy! Yay!
Something special happens when you come to TransUnion.com. You get in the know. When you're in the know about your credit, you feel confident, ready for anything. At TransUnion.com, you get instant credit alerts to keep you in sync. You can even lock and unlock your TransUnion report with the swipe of a finger. Come to TransUnion.com and get in the know.
Atlantic beats Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Have you suddenly noticed bags, wrinkles, or dark circles under your eyes? Make a sudden change in mere minutes. Sudden Change Under Eye Serum with skin-firming ingredients smooths it all away. Make a sudden change in mere minutes.
When it comes to probiotics, the more the merrier. More balance, more happiness, more good digestive health. Ultimate Flora has 30 billion probiotic cultures to restore your body's inner peace. So get more with Ultimate Flora from Renew Life.
Sunny is back.
What? Oh, God!
And looking better than ever.
American Girl, blue eyes, blonde hair.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The all-new season premieres Wednesday, January 14th at 10, only on FXX.
Enjoy a spectacular two-night Bahamas Paradise Cruise from just $149. Call 800-814-7100 and let the fun begin. That's 800-814-7100.
Call 1-800-314-8013.
Every Sunday night. Get down now! Prospectors, the $1 Million Mountain. Sundays at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 78. Winds northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Low 66. Winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy skies. High 77. Winds east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome back to Weather Center Live, checking in on new video here. This is out of Winchester, Virginia. You can see the flakes of snow coming down there and starting to accumulate there for you on some of those grassy surfaces. And this is something we've been seeing over the last couple of hours here across sections of the Mid-Atlantic. Generally, we're seeing an inch or so of accumulation in parts of northern Virginia, even into the D.C. area, which is under a winter weather advisory. But I tell you, Kelly, things looking much better a little bit farther south.
From winter to spring, how about this gorgeous shot of Atlanta, Georgia? I'm not seeing any clouds or haze in that view right there. This is the view from the Coca-Cola World headquarters, showing a lovely blue sky. Temperatures right around 60 degrees already. Yesterday, we made it up to 67 degrees, and that is certainly above our average. Typically, middle January, we're in the low to mid 50s for a high. So this is a treat, that is for sure. But we are going to be tracking a storm heading toward the east and also bring in some of those cooler temperatures. Here's that moisture being pulled north. We've got an upper level disturbance that we are tracking coming out of the southwest and Four Corners region. And with that system heading toward the east, that means unsettled weather down toward the coast, thunderstorms, and for some of you across the mid-south, perhaps even some wintry weather. So here's that system developing. And in fact, we've already got it going on in New Mexico. It's snowing at Taos. Also watching Amarillo with a winter storm warning in effect for you guys. We could see at least 6 inches of snow, rain changing over to snow as we speak. Oklahoma, even towards the Dallas area later on tonight or tomorrow night. And then eventually all that rain scooting into Georgia, the Carolinas. Rain heavy at times along Interstate 10 across northern Florida back towards Mobile. It is going to be a stormy one too. So here's a look at how much rainfall we are tracking between now and Saturday. Some places like Houston, we could see anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain. Atlanta, Birmingham, right on the area around an inch. And then south of Atlanta, even down towards the state capital in Florida, we could see at least an inch of rainfall. places like Tallahassee. So here's a look at where we could actually benefit from the rain because, since October 1st, it's been rather dry lately in Dallas, picking up only a little over 7 inches, your average 10.5 inches. New Orleans and Mobile also below average when it comes to precip, so we could actually use some. Alex?
All right. Well, drivers today need to be careful with more wintry conditions expected for this afternoon's rush hour. The ice, snow not only make the roads dangerous, but you also have to be careful around lakes and ponds. Chris Warren has more.
Ice has been causing dangerous road conditions across the Northeast all week.
Oh, my God! Look out! Look out!
Sliding cars and trucks out of control on the slick roads. With more snow expected today during the afternoon commute, Maryland DOT has been readying the salt trucks since early this morning to treat roads around the state. Philadelphia and Washington, D.C. could also see travel issues, all part of a winter that has car mechanics working overtime.
The damage is substantial. A lot of suspension damage, wheel damage, body damage, all around.
The danger isn't limited to roads, but also lakes and ponds as well.
Fire and ambulance, where's your emergency?
I'm just calling you back to let you know about the boys on the ice. They are still above water.
In Missouri, 3 young boys fell through thin ice earlier this week. Rescuers pulled all 3 to safety. 2 were treated for hypothermia and 1 remains in critical condition. Even our 4-legged friends need to heed the thin ice warnings. This dog rescued in Indiana yesterday after wandering onto a frozen pond near its home.